Hello, welcome to Math with Jacko. Just before we get into it, shout out to It's Max for subscribing to my channel, and a lovely Sideman for commenting and recommending this week's topic on trigonometry. If you want a shout out, don't forget subscribe to my channel and comment on my videos. With trigonometry, we have three different ratios: sine, cosine, and tangent. On your calculator, these are referred to as sin, cos, and tan. Each of these ratios is used slightly differently when you're calculating missing angles in a right angled triangle. So sine of your angle equals the opposite side divided by the hypotenuse, cosine of your angle is the adjacent side divided by the hypotenuse, and tangent of your angle is the opposite side divided by the adjacent. This part above each triangle where it says SOH CAH TOA, all it is an acronym we use to help us identify if we're using sin, cos or tan on each of these triangles when trying to find the missing angle. So what it stands for is S is for sine, C is for cosine, T is for tangent, O opposite, H is for hypotenuse, and A is for adjacent. Let's solve some angles. So first we have to label the sides. So the one opposite the right angle is the hypotenuse. We should know this from Pythagoras on that video, so that video is up here if you want to watch it as a bit of a recap. Then the opposite and adjacent. The side opposite the angle you're trying to find or you're given is the opposite, okay? And adjacent is the other. So then all we are doing, we have to think, what sides are we given the lengths of? We are given the opposite and given the hypotenuse. So we underline the O's, then we underline the H's, because that's the side we are given. And you can see this one here has two things underlined. So we are using sine. So all you write is sine x, because that is the angle we're trying to find, equals, remember, it's the opposite divided by a hypotenuse, what we have over here. So then it is 4 over 15. And now with your calculator you press shift sine, and that is the opposite of sine, which is sine minus 1. So an x, the angle, equals sin. On your calculator it'd just be written as sin minus 1, and then do it as a fraction is best, or you can just write 4 divided by 15, and your answer to 2 decimal places you should get 15.47, and that'll be in degrees. Okay, right, the next one, same again, label the sides. So we know that's the hypotenuse because it's opposite the right angle. Now the opposite side, think about where your angle is, that's given, and it's over here, and then this one is the adjacent. Now this time, what do we know? Right, we know the hypotenuse, that's 5. We are given the adjacent, so we underline the A's. So we can see this one here has the most underlined, so we're using cos or cosine, okay? So we write cos of our angle, which equals the adjacent divided by hypotenuse. So you can see over here, adjacent over hypotenuse. So our adjacent is 4, our hypotenuse is 5. And then, similar before, you just press shift cos on your calculator. So the angle equals cos minus 1, and that'll be 4 divided by 5. 4 divided by 5, and then our answer in the exam, you would write the full answer. Okay, we'll just do this video to make it a bit shorter, a bit quicker. I'm rounding it to 2 decimal places. That'll be 36.87 degrees. Now, next one, label sides first. So hypotenuse opposite the right angle, and then the opposite side, you're given this angle, which the angle we want to find, which is the opposite, and the other one is the adjacent. This time, what do we know? What we're given? We're given the adjacent, and we are given the opposite. So now, what has the most underlined is this is a tangent. So we write tan of our angle x equals 3, which is the opposite, over 6. And then, similar to the other one, sin and cos, you press shift and tan on your calculator, so you get x equals tan minus 1, and then 3 over 6. Okay, and your answer, rounded to 2 decimal places, is 26.57 degrees. Now, if you want to shout out my next video, comment on my videos, subscribe, and I'll give you a shout out on my next video. This has been Trigonometry Finding Missing Angles. I'd highly recommend watching this video. Big skill you've got to get in the exams if you want to pass mathematics. Take care, and I'll see you next time.